Oh boy. Welcome back. So I have to try to wake myself up because that game was, oh wow, that was painful. I didn't even care by the end. I was like, can this be over now? Please. And I don't think I'm the only one. According to my Twitter feed, I don't think I was the only one that had that reaction either. Man, and it wasn't Buffalo and Arizona. That game was entertaining. All right, let's start things off with San Jose in against Florida. And San Jose had 2 points until they didn't. This one was Reimer versus Bobrovsky. Lomberg on his first break, or first shift, there's a break there. He was denied on that. Then there's a 4-on-4 for hooking and embellishment on the same play, so that way nobody's happy. Sharks had a 2-on-1. Shimmick was denied on that. Then there's a post for Uyghur. Gregor has a rush chance that's saved, so they're trading chances there. Tippett with a wraparound, that fizzled. The Panthers definitely had some jump there, but it's Hurdle that opens the scoring from Balcers at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. For San Jose, that's their fourth shot. The Panthers had two. So the Panthers are getting zone time. They're not getting the shots yet, though. Forsling has a blast go out, and that's where I put. They need more shots. They're not hitting the net at this point in the game. Panthers press at 9 minutes. Lustarinen's denied. Sharks clear it out. Sharks then get pinned down on the next shift. Reimer was the one saving this. Ekblad's denied. Pretty wide open first. A lot of shots in the first period. Power play then for the Sharks, and they score on it. And it's Jonathan Dahlen with his 10th of the year from Gregor at 17-17. Panthers try to answer, and in the final minute of the first period, they do. It's Forsling from Reinhart and Marchment at 19:06, and then the Panthers look for the tie. But we go to the second period with the score 2-1 San Jose. It was announced that Ferraro would miss the rest of the game, so that was that. Nieto, though, scores at 1:31 from Bonino and Vlasic. That makes it 3-1 for San Jose. So iffy defense there by Florida leads to a goal. Panthers get a power play. That's killed off. Marchment then with a net drive. That fizzles out. The shots are 11-7 for the Panthers halfway through the period. Pressed by the Panthers with 8 minutes left. The Sharks then, they get some pressure with 3.5 left. And in the last minute, their chances for Florida. So it's 3-1 for San Jose. Florida's known for making comebacks, however. And for San Jose, you need to kind of lock it down. It's easier said than done in Florida. Third period. Huberdeau and Uyghur can't bury early, but Barkov can at 1:26 from Huberdeau and Verhaeghe. So that makes it 4-3. The Panthers are then looking for the tie. Balcers has a rush chance that's saved. The Sharks then get a power play, and they score on it. It's Dahlen scoring from Burns and Bonino at 4:50, and he just wires it. So this makes it 4-2. And this is where, if San Jose is going to, really assert themselves as being a playoff team, you would think they'd try to lock it down. But Marchment scores at 7:30. He poked it in. He was just behind Reimer, and he reaches around and pokes it in the net. Panthers press after that, and they score again to tie it. It's Huberdeau from Verhaeghe and Uyghur at 9:38. Dahlen has a chance that's blocked, but this stays tied through the second half and into overtime. Overtime, Panthers control early, and they get the goal. It's Sam Bennett from Huberdeau and Forsling at 1:08. Florida comes back and wins again. They go to 31-9-5 with the overtime win. The Sharks drop to 22-19-3. The shots in this one, 17-16 Florida in the first, really wide open first. 18-10 in the second, and then 13-8. So Florida leads in shots in every period. In the overtime, they got the one shot, and that goes in. Final shots, 49-34 for Florida. Power plays, San Jose 2 for 2, Florida 0 for 1. Hits, 31-30 for San Jose. Reimer was great, 44 saves on 49 shots. Bobrovsky, 30 saves on 34 shots. Some suspect defense and penalty killing, but Florida ends up winning the game. So there you go. Florida Panthers, big comeback win. Next up, this was tough. So Montreal, this was a tough one. It's Skinner versus Montembeault. It's a tentative start. There were no early shots for either team in this. Kane has a feed to McDavid. That's intercepted. The Habs press at 8 minutes. The shots are 3-2 for the Habs at the half. Little did we know that from there, things are going to change. Evander Kane, in his first game in Edmonton, he gets a goal here to open the scoring from Bouchard and Yamamoto at 11:21. Tips it in nicely. The Oilers look for another, and they get it at 12:48. It's Hyman from Russell and Lagesson. That's a deflection as well. So not really much chance for Montembeault on either of those goals. Foegele then goes for another. In fact, Foegele gets the assist on Draisaitl's goal at 13:08. So it's 3 goals in a little less than 2 minutes. So that puts the Oilers up 3-0. and that one went off Pitlick and in. So that's 6 shots, 3 of them go in the net. Really flat first period for the Habs after, being up 3-2 in the shots at the half. Last minute, there's some saves by Skinner, but we go to the second period with a 3-0. Hoffman's denied early on, and then Anderson puts Edmonton on the board. He scores from Sherratt and Evans at 3:58. The Habs then press for another, but at 6:18, it's Nugent-Hopkins scoring from Hyman and Kassian. So that puts the Oilers up 4-1. Dauphin has a chance that's kicked out. Lehkonen has a blast that's saved. Hyman has a chance that deflects out. And then Hyman scores his second of the game from Nurse and Nugent-Hopkins at 14:30. Kassian runs the goalie, and he just did. And it's a power play. And I didn't see any reaction from the Habs on the ice to the fact their goalie just got ran. That's the first time I've seen that, where a guy goes back and clips the goalie, and the Habs just kind of watched it, and that was it. Now on the power play, they do score, so they get their revenge that way, I guess. Toffoli scores from Hoffman and Suzuki at 15:09. I know what happened in the third. My point is, usually when you see a guy run your goalie like that, especially Montreal, who's without Allen, they're without Price, and you don't want to be without Montembeault. And yeah, there really wasn't much of a response. So Draisaitl scores a few seconds after that from Foegele and Keith at 15:33. So it takes 24 seconds for them to restore the 4-goal lead. We go to the third period. Habs get a power play. That's killed off. McDavid with a net drive. That's defended. Ceci has a blast that's blocked. Pretty quiet third period to that point. Draisaitl's denied the hat trick. Pezzetta then fights Kassian. The Oilers end up coming out of that with a power play. And they don't score on that, but in the final minute, they do score. It's Ryan that gets the 7th goal of the game from Shore and Keith at 19:26. The Oilers win this one 7-2. They go to 22-16-2 for Montreal, 8-28-7. It just feels like Montreal invents ways to lose games. So Edmonton, that's their 4th win in a row. And so the shots, 10-5 Edmonton in the first, 15-6 Montreal in the second, 8-3 Edmonton in the third. Final shots 24-23 for the Oilers. Power plays, the Oilers 0 for 1. Montreal 1 for 2. Both teams had 19 hits. Skinner saves 21 out of 23. Montembeault saves 10 out of 16. And then Primo goes in the third and saves 7 out of 8. So it's been an ugly year for Montreal. It doesn't really get any better tonight, does it? All right, next up, Toronto. So this one I kind of figured was done, and then it wasn't. Detroit has problems in the third period, apparently. So it's Mrazek versus Nedeljkovic. Larkin scores early. It's a fast break. It's the first shot from Nemesnikov at 1:15. And when Mrazek's in net, you got to be careful, right? Because Mrazek, he's had some rough nights over the last few years. And I think a lot of that has to do with, injuries and other things too, and just trying to get into a rhythm. However, that wasn't great. The first shot's in the net. Wings look for another. The shots are 7-3 for the Wings, 7.5 minutes into the game. Engvall has a net drive that's saved, but late in the period, Engvall scores. He scores from Riley and Spezza at 16:28, and he just kind of throws it at the net, and it deflects in. So Riley throws it at the net, and it deflects in off Engvall, and sometimes that's all it takes. Leafs press with a minute and a half left. The momentum had shifted after that goal in favor of Toronto. So we go to the second period with it tied at 1. Not for long. A minute and 16 seconds into the period. So it's 1:15 in the first. It's 1:16 in the second. Detroit. Nemesnikov from Larkin and Seider. So Nemesnikov and Larkin combine on goals at around the same time in the first and second period. Mrazek just lost the puck on that one. He had no idea where that was. Mikheyev nearly answers, but Bertuzzi adds to the lead. He scores from Fabry and Seider at 2:11. It is 3-1 in favor of Detroit. And it looked like we were in full meltdown mode for Toronto at that stage. Things get scrummy at the Wings net after a save. The Leafs get pinned down. Sandin and Hall ended up being on the ice for about 3 minutes each. So that's how long you get pinned down if you're the Leafs. But the fourth line for the Leafs then follows that up with a pretty good shift. Kasha has a shot that's blocked. Power play for the Leafs takes place at this point. Red Wings kill it off, but Bunting makes it a 3-2 game from Hall and Kampf at 12:06. The Wings then get a power play, and they score on it. It's Larkin, so that's his 3rd point of the game from Fabry and Raymond at 15:54. And then we get a late press by the Wings, who are now up by 2, 4-2. Nemesnikov with a near miss wide, and we get some arguing and pushing at the horn. And it just feels like, well, it's 4-2 Detroit after 2. This is probably done. But the third period has been a problem for the Detroit Red Wings. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 to start because of the incident at the horn. Marner can't bury one on a turnover. The shots are 3-2 for the Leafs at 5 minutes. Kosh has a shot that's blocked as the Leafs press. The Wings with a 2-on-1. Mrazek kicks it out of the way. And then Bunting scores from Matthews and Hall at 9:28. So Bunting, pretty good night for him. That's 2 goals. And then he figures, why not get the hat trick? It's his first as a Maple Leaf, his second overall. He had one with the Coyotes against the Kings. So he scores from Marner and Matthews at 11:58. So Matthews on the board with a couple of assists over a period of 2.5 minutes. And suddenly the game's tied. So Wings call a timeout. Jeff Blashill quite upset with his team. It doesn't have the desired effect. Engvall has a chance saved. The Leafs press. Matthews fires one wide, but then Sandin gets his first goal of the season from Tavares and Kerfoot at 17:09. There's a goalie pulled in by the Wings with 1:51 left. The Leafs get a power play, and so they pull the goaltender to make it a 5-on-5. Well, that allows Marner to score from Kerfoot and Riley at 18:46, and then Tavares hits the empty net from Kampf at 19:49 after a beautiful save by Tyler Bertuzzi to try to keep the game a little bit close, but then rudely Tavares gets that 7th goal. So Toronto wins 7-4. They go to 27-10-3 overall. Detroit, tough loss for them. They're 19-20-6. They just can't get above 500 now. So your shots in this one: 15-9 Detroit in the first, 15-13 Toronto in the second, 13-7 Toronto in the third. Final shots 37-35 for Toronto. Power plays, penalty kill didn't work tonight. 2 for 2 for Toronto, 1 for 1 for Detroit. Hits 10-6 Detroit. Wasn't any hitting either. Mrazek saves 31 out of 35. Nedeljkovic saves 30 out of 35. So similar stat lines for the goaltenders. Mrazek just that one save better, and that's your difference maker. All right, last game on this board. Vegas in against Tampa. So Vegas has had a rough month, but Vegas is also on this really tough road trip. So when I look at the power rankings board, I haven't been punishing them for losing games against some of the best teams in the league. That's kind of how that works. So it's Leonard versus Vasilevsky. No Kucherov. He's in protocols. So Perry has a chance to deflect out. There's early chances for Vegas. Pretty fast start for them. And it's Howden. Howden scores from Carrier at 5:25. That's the 5th shot for Vegas to just 1 for Tampa to that point. The shots are 8-1 for Vegas with 9 minutes left. So Vegas is really way out ahead in this game. Tampa's kind of stuck in neutral. Vegas presses with 6:30 left. The Bolts were tired during that one too. They basically Vegas is rolling over their shifts, and Tampa's having a hard time getting the puck out. The hits do liven up the crowd a little bit late though. Tampa throwing some hits late there. Stamkos with a wraparound, that wouldn't go. And so after the first period, it's 1-0 Vegas. Second period. Rush chance for Stamkos, that goes high. Bolts with chances, those are deflecting out though, so they're not getting the shots on net that you would want. Janmark has a rush chance that's blocked out. Colton with a break. Leonard denies on that. Marchessault has a chance that's saved. Stamkos is denied as the Bolts press. Dodonov, net feed by him, wouldn't go. Good back and forth play. And then it's Carrier. It's one of those, it just ping pongs in. It's just a bizarre goal, but it counts. They all count from Howden at 14:56. So Carrier and Howden both with a goal and an assist. That line was effective tonight for Vegas, which is good because the others really weren't in terms of getting goals. Cal Foote would hit the post. Stone was denied in close. Vegas gets a power play with 47.4 seconds left, which rolls over into the third. And Tampa Bay finishes off the kill there. Line juggling by the Bolts is taking place now. Point has a shot that's blocked. Tampa Bay really had the jump early in this period. Power play for Tampa. Hedman has a blast that's saved. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 that misfires, but they do kill off the power play. Leonard denies Stamkos. The Bolts go back to the power play. That one's killed off as well. Perry with a net drive. That won't go. Bolts press. Vegas shot blocking at the half. Vegas with a 2-on-1. McDonough defends on that. Doesn't let it get to the net. There's another Bolts power play. And point is denied. Shortly after the power play ends by like 2 seconds, Colton gets a goal from Perry at 13:12. So it's not officially a power play goal. And then Janmark with what's basically an own goal. Perry gets the goal at 17:12. It bounced around and it bounced in. So you get the weird goal for Carey that ping pongs in, and then Perry with one that kind of ping pongs in too. So it's just, yeah, there was some weird goals in this. So we end up going to overtime. Bolts control early. Pacioretty fires one wide. Bolts get it back. Palat with a near miss. More chances for the Bolts. Sergachev was robbed. Then Carlson's robbed by Vasilevsky at the other end of the ice. The Bolts have a 2-on-0, I should say. Colton fires it wide. We go to a shootout. In the shootout, in round 7, Mark Stone with the winner for the Vegas Golden Knights. They win this one 3-2. They go to 26-16-3. Tampa with the overtime shootout loss goes to 29-10-6 overall. Your shots 12-4 Vegas in the first, 11-5 Vegas in the second, and then they just stopped in the third. The shots were 17-1 for Tampa. One. And then in the overtime, both teams had 3 shots. Final shots 29-27 for Tampa. Power plays, Vegas 0 for 1, Tampa Bay 0 for 3. The hits 39-27 for Tampa. Leonard saves 27 out of 29. He continues to bring his stats up. And Vasilevsky saves 25 out of 27. Pretty good goaltending matchup there. Pretty fun game. And now I need to change boards. Now, I had thought about wearing a Hartford Whalers jersey for the review. There's a Hartford Whalers magnet here, a Hartford Whalers magnet down here. That may not be as fun as people might want, but hey. So it was the Hartford Whalers throwback night, and the New Jersey Devils in against them. This is where you'd like to see the Devils wear the old Christmas jersey colors from the 80s. You know, that third jersey that they never won in and they stopped wearing, the white one? It would have paired up nicely with the Hartford jerseys. Anyways, it's Gillies versus Ronta in this one. Siegenthaler with a blast that saved the shots early on. 3.5 minutes in. It's 2-0 for the Devils. Kane's press at 5 minutes. Mercer has a near miss and close. Martinook opens the scoring at 8:02 from Jarvis and Shea. It is weird to see Seth Jarvis in a Whalers jersey because I remember Doug Jarvis in a Whalers jersey, so it's bizarre. Anyways, Ronta then denies Janssen. The Devils end up getting a power play. They don't score on that. And Svechnikov makes it a 2-0 lead for Carolina from Cole at 14:22. Severson then, a shot through a screen. That was saved. The Devils press with 3.5 minutes left. And eventually, they get a goal. It's Boquist from VC and Kuokkanen at 17:26. Ronta almost got that, but it ends up going in. The Devils get a power play with 7 seconds left. So it's 2-1 for the Whalers after one period. I also have like other Whalers magnets I could have used, and I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that today. So second period, I assume there'll be other Whalers nights. I assume. So Canes finished the kill. Gillies with a save on Lawrence. The Devils press. Ronta saved. Sharon Govich to Hughes was blocked. The Canes press at 9 minutes. Boquist with a break on a turnover. He was denied his second goal of the game there. Bratt with a rush chance. That goes wide. Smith with a blast. Ranta saves. The Devils were really controlling this. Devils had a very good game. More saves by Ronta. He's saving the Canes at this point as we get through the second period. Both periods, honestly, New Jersey outplays Carolina. They outshot them by a combined total of 22-13, but Ronta's ready to steal it. So third period, this is a period where Ronta faced a lot less action. Aho with an early chance won't go. Slavin with a rush chance, that deflects out. A near miss then for Martinook. The shots are 2-0 for the Canes at 8 minutes, showing they're not giving the Devils anything at this point. Zaka with a net drive, that's defended. There's a power play then for the Canes. Svechnikov has a chance that's saved. That power play's killed off. Goalie pull in the final 2 minutes. Hughes can't bury one. The Canes clear it out. With 28.2 seconds left, the Devils call a timeout. They're unable to tie it. Your final score is 2-1 for the Whalers. They go to 39-2 overall. For New Jersey, they're 15-23-5 overall. Your shots 10-6 New Jersey in the first, 12-7 New Jersey in the second, 10-3 Carolina in the third. So the Devils, good first and second period, and then Carolina shut them down in the third. So final shots are 25-23 for New Jersey. Both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play, a combined 0 for 4. Hits 42-21 for Carolina. Gillies saves 21 out of 23. Ronta saves 24 out of 25. Might have been Ronta's best game of the season. So not bad. And for Carolina / Hartford, 62 points. Pretty good first half of the season for them. They're on pace for 60 wins. So there's that. All right, next up. Buffalo. and Arizona. This game was actually pretty entertaining, I have to admit. Despite what I said in the preview this morning, you really can't tell until the games get played which ones are actually going to be entertaining and which ones will not. Sometimes you get entertainment, sometimes you don't. So it's Anderson versus Vejmelka. Yes, Craig Anderson was back tonight, and he was very good. Early chances for the Coyotes, but the Sabres end up getting a power play, and they score on it. At 7:02, it's Okposo on what was the second shot for Buffalo from Bryson and Eakin. So power play marker gets Buffalo off to the good start. Coyotes get a power play. Fisher was denied on that. It's killed off. And before the period's out, Krebs scores from Middlestad and Tuck at 15:07. I just want to say, both Krebs and Tuck have been very good for Buffalo, especially in recent weeks, last couple of weeks. That trade for Eichel, I think, as long as Eichel pans out for Vegas, it could work out for both teams. This could be one that's mutually beneficial. And while everybody does victory laps on Buffalo about the Ryan O'Reilly deal, Tage Thompson's actually become a pretty good player, and we don't know yet about that first-round pick who hasn't come in yet, Ryan Johnson, what he could be. So Buffalo, we make a lot of fun about what they do wrong and all this, but honestly, there might be a good team in there as soon as next year. A late power play then for the Sabres, rolls over into the second period. Coyotes finish the kill there. Anderson was sharp early in the period. Chikrin with a rush chance, that's fired wide. Sabres press at 3 minutes. Hayden with a net drive, that was saved. Eakin can't bury one in close. Tuck does. In fact, Tuck with a really nice pass to Krebs, and Krebs passes back to him. He puts it in the net at 7:14. So Tuck with a goal and an assist. Krebs with a goal and an assist. Tage Thompson with the secondary assist. And again, really nice play by Tuck. He has very good offensive instincts. I had a feeling Buffalo would like him. Sabres press with 8 minutes left. There's a 2-on-1 for the Sabres. Gostisbehere breaks that up. Things get pushy and shovey on all stoppages at this point. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 after one, which is kind of the referee's way of saying, all right, knock it off. We get a power play for the Sabres. It's 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 32 seconds, and then 28 seconds of a regular 5-on-4. Thompson nearly scores. It's very, very close to the point where they had to look at it on the replay. It did not go in the net. Then there's a stretch pass to Skinner that wouldn't go, but it's 3-0 Buffalo after 2. Third period. Sabres press at 3 minutes, but they're not getting enough shots. The shots are actually 2-1 for the Coyotes 5 minutes into it. Keller with a break. Sabres defended on that. Keller felt like there should have been a penalty on that play. Boyd's denied and close. Eriksson has a chance that's saved, but the Coyotes end up getting a power play out of that. Good pressure by the fourth line draws that power play. Anderson making more saves until Gostisbehere breaks up the shutout at 11:30 from Keller and Kessel. Sabres try to answer. Okposo has a net drive. That's saved. Goaltender gets pulled with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. That's an aggressive pull. They did have to put him back in on a face-off, and then they got him out again. Keller has a rush chance. It's fired wide. Fisher with a near miss, and then with another. And you could see Fisher was frustrated that he felt like he should have had at least 2 goals tonight with the plays, just couldn't get them. Buffalo wins this one 3-1. They go to 14, 22, and 7 with the win. Arizona, it's free fall again, 10, 29, and 4 overall. Your shots, 12-9 Buffalo in the first, 18-5 Buffalo in the second, 14-5 Arizona in the third. Final shots, 35-28 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. Power plays, 1 for 3 for Buffalo, 1 for 2 for Arizona. Hits, 20-16 for the Coyotes. Anderson saves 27 out of 28, and Vejmelka saves 32 out of 35. So, yeah, that was an entertaining game. And Vejmelka recovers from allowing a goal in the second shot, actually puts up decent stats. And that's it, everybody. Good night. I'm kidding. Oh, so the Canucks played the Flames tonight, and I heard a rumor this was a hockey game, but yeah, it was slow. I'm really glad the Royal Rumble was on. So full disclosure, I was able to watch the end of the Royal Rumble, and I was glad because A, it reminded me why I don't like to watch WWE anymore, and because why? You don't need to win it. Why? So, anyways, it's Demko versus Mark. I don't get it. I know storyline, but it shouldn't be. That's not how that should work. How do you advance a new guy as the main event if you don't have a new guy? All right. So it's Demko versus Markstrom. Canucks getting zone time, need shots. I had no idea how comedic that would be by the time we reached the second period. Ritchie has a shot, easy save for Demko. The Flames press at 5 minutes. They had the only shot in the first 5 minutes. And I was like, well, I can't wait for this game to wake up. Oh, boy. So Besser has a shot that's blocked. Mangiapane draws a power play. The Canucks killed it off. There was one shot. 10:30 in, the shots are 2-0 for the Flames. So 10.5 minutes, there's 2 shots. And they're not high danger either. So Goodbranson has a shot that's blocked. The Flames press with 8.5 minutes left. The shots are up to 5-0 now. Myers with a head hit on Lewis. It's a 5-minute penalty. They review it. And yes, it's a 5-minute penalty. He's out. I expect a suspension. We've been through this with Tyler Myers before. And I think the extenuating circumstance too is that he hits Lewis with the headshot after Lewis got him in the face with his glove. And you could see Myers reacted with the headshot. So to me, there's premeditation in there. It was a dangerous hit against the boards. I expect a suspension for Myers. It's absolutely deserved. So, yeah, the review shows it's 5 minutes. He's out. We get a shorthanded chance for Mott that was saved. That's the Canucks' first shot of the game, too, during the 5-minute power play. Gaudreau has a chance that's blocked. There's a post for Lindholm, but it's killed off. So the Canucks, whose penalty kill has been garbage most of the season, tonight it was good. Or the Flames power play was awful. One or the other. You can choose. I don't think there's a wrong choice in this one. Second period, 10 seconds in, the Flames get a power play. Tkachuk's denied, it's killed off. So, power plays continue to be ineffective. Lindholm was robbed on a rush chance. The Canucks are stuck on one shot, and that's for the game, not for the period, for the game. Power play for the Canucks? Nope. Nothing to see here, not even a shot. Nothing. It was awful. 7 minutes in, the Canucks get their second shot of the game. It was basically right at the 7-minute mark. I'm like, yes, shot number 2 from a distance. Cool. Dickinson fires one wide. It was the Canucks' best shift to that point because they didn't have any good ones. So that, to me, was kind of the best one. Shots are 9-2 for the Flames halfway through the second period. So at least the Canucks have doubled their shot total from the first period. And it's only halfway through the second. They have 2 shots already. So Zadorov has a rush chance that fires wide. Highmore gets shaken up along the boards. Looked like he hit his ankle pretty hard there. Gaudreau with a penalty shot. Demko saves on that. Mott has a chance that's defended by Tanev. Again, if Tyler Mott is one of your most dangerous forwards, A, good for Mott. B, probably an indictment of your top 6. Mott should not be the most dangerous forward, and yet for a lot of the game tonight, he really was. Kind of most dangerous for both teams at times, too. So, Ekman-Larsson has a shot off the boards that, honestly, it hopped around a bit. Markstrom really wasn't sure about it, and if there'd been a Canuck there, but there wasn't, so it's fine. Horvat has a shot blocked. We go to the third period, still scoreless. I was amazed at how many notes I was taking on a game where not a lot was going on. So Horvat has a rush chance that's blocked. Coleman can't bury one. The shots, though, are 3-0 for the Canucks at 5 minutes. So they did come out and play well to start the third period. Podkolzin can't bury one in the slot. Lindholm fires one high. With 12:39 left, the Flames get a power play. It's not good. It's killed off. Ekman-Larsson with a chance that's saved. 9:19 left. The Canucks get a power play. It's killed off. And when Harner Ryan is saying, well, the power plays aren't giving us very much in the way of offensive opportunities, I may have laughed because the entire game gave us nothing for opportunities. The Flames press with 5 minutes left. But this is where I saw this posted that one of the stats tracking sites, with less than 5 minutes left in regulation, high danger chances, each team had 3. 3 high danger chances. Less than 5 minutes left in the third period. That's really good defense. It's hard to watch. 3:57 left. The Canucks get a power play. And what I wrote here is true. Just the word sucks with a bunch of S's at the end. It was awful. It was terrible. And we go to overtime. In overtime, the Canucks controlling the faceoff. Miller loses his stick. Now, here's the thing. Miller thought that he was interfered with on the play or there should have been a penalty. Okay. The play's still alive, JT. You need to get back. Now, Gaudreau scores from Lindholm at 29 seconds. So, Miller kind of stopped playing on that. So, ta-da! The Canucks drop to 19-19-6. The Flames go to 21-13-6 with the overtime victory. They jump back into a playoff spot with that win. And so, yeah. The shot 7-1 Calgary in the first, 13-8 Calgary in the second, 11-6 Calgary in the third. In the overtime, they get the only shot. Final shots 32-15 for the Flames. Power plays, Vancouver 0 for 3, Calgary 0 for 4. Hits 13 to 12 Calgary. Demko 31 saves on 32 shots. Markstrom 15 saves for his 7th shutout of the year. I feel responsible because in the preview I talked about how Calgary Vancouver games are always a lot of fun and they're always, you know, there's fighting and there's stuff going on, and then there wasn't any. But we survived. We made it through the night. All right, there you go. All done. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It was a full day of hockey for me. There wasn't a news video. There wasn't anything else. Just videos reviewing games after the preview went live this morning. So there you go. Thank you guys so much again. I will talk to you soon because the power rankings are next.